We are going back to basics, back to school, which not sure about that one. And we are making old school sponge cake. This is a Traybake cake. Oh, that was so heavy. It is a classic in the UK and so simple to make. It's also an all-in-one method, so we don't really have to do a lot either. We're gonna put pretty much all of our ingredients into the bowl, and then we add our sugar, all of our eggs, and we also add our flour and baking powder at this stage as well. And we're going to mix this for around 1 to 2 minutes on a medium speed. And as you can see, you've gone from a bunch of ingredients to pretty much a complete cake batter within 2 minutes. So simple. The final ingredients that we've got are some milk and vanilla. So I'm going to add that in too. And we're going to mix this on a very low speed just until it's all come together. There we go. So simple. And then we're just gonna get everything off the paddle and make sure that we've got everything fully incorporated in the bowl. Because we have used an all-in-one method and not a creaming method, this is a little bit more forgiving. You don't have to be as gentle, but obviously we've still whipped some air in there, so we don't want to knock it all out. Then we transfer it into our tin. So this is an 8 by 10 inch tin, which I have greased and lined. Pour it all in there. And then we can just gently push it towards the edges. It will find its way in the oven, so you don't need to worry about it too much, but we just want to give it a good head start. And then what I like to do as well is tap it a little bit, give it a wobble, just to get any large air bubbles out of there. I wouldn't do this with a cake mix that I've used the creaming method for. I'm doing this because it is more forgiving. And then we can bake it. So this has literally been, how long have I been recording for? 7 minutes I've been recording, and that is it. We are ready to bake. So I've got my oven preheated to 160 degrees Celsius. That's for a fan assisted oven, and we're going to bake it for around 22 to 25 minutes. You want to make sure that the skewer or a knife comes out completely clean, and that is when you know that it's ready. Cake has just come out of the oven. It took 25 minutes in total. So we're going to leave this to cool completely, and then we can decorate with lots and lots of sprinkles. Cake is nice and cool, so I've taken it out of the tin, taken the greaseproof paper off and transferred it to a board. So now we're going to move on to the white icing, which is essentially icing sugar, milk and some flavouring. I have icing sugar in this bowl, and I'm going to add a couple of spoons of milk, and I'm also going to add in some vanilla as well, because you can't have too much vanilla flavour when it comes to this cake. And then we're going to give this all a stir together and see what the consistency is like. We're probably going to have to add more milk. It's always better to start off with less and add more. Yep, so a bit more milk. We want it so it's going to spread and pour nicely, but not be completely see-through. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So it's thick enough, but it still pours like we want it to. We're going to pour all of this white icing over the top. So as you can see, it's starting to spread nicely, but we're just going to give it a bit of a helping hand towards the edges. I don't mind it dripping down a little bit either, but we want it all completely coated on top. So then I have some hundreds and thousands here, and I'm just going to go crazy and pour them all over. Oh, they're so cute. They're such a cool summery colour. And that is how simple this cake is to make. Now, we should really let it set. I'm kind of in two minds. Part of me wants to eat it now, and part of me is like, no, let it set. I might give it like 10 minutes to set and then come back. I waited all of 30 seconds. I'm being far too impatient, and I should let this set, because then it kind of goes crinkly on top, and I know as soon as I'm going to cut this, I'm going to regret it, because all the icing's going to go everywhere. But I'm just going to cut it, because this is one of my favourite cakes, and I am being massively impatient. I know. I'm just going to cut a little slice out, just enough for me to gobble the whole thing up. But here is our cake. You can see how fluffy and spongy it is. Taste test time. It's just so fluffy and nostalgic. Absolutely delicious, if I do say so myself. If you are new to baking, this is the perfect cake to start with. Let me know in the comments if you try it, or if you want more classic cakes. I'll see you next week for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.